And we here. And we here. And we here. Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 whoa. And Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 whoa. And Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 whoa. And Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 whoa. And Mr. I stay. On point in the game, don't count me out. I stay lit with the news, got a loud mouth. I represent SDL, man, that's the loop. And Monday night, 7 o'clock, getting that brain food. And stopping this now, homie, this ain't.
All right, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We're back live on the second go around of the Chris Monroe Show with the special guest, Irritated Genie. You know, something happened. You must have said something powerful, brother, that shook up the nation, shook up the internet, and made them say, just cut them all off because you're saying something too powerful for them. We got you back live, though.
Hey, you know how it works, brother. You know, when the Irritated Genie come in the house, you ain't getting what you normally get. This ain't your father's Oldsmobile.
You know, that's right. So, N.O. Saint, or Steven, called in and had a question for you, asking about the white devils, and what do you think about the Asians and the others? And I guess you were in the middle of your answer, and they cut your water off. If you can continue or try to recap a little bit on where you were trying to go with that thought.
Okay, yeah, you had that question, then you asked about the Trump question, what I think is going to happen with black people under the Trump administration. So the guy that asked about the Asians and Latinos, I was basically saying, you know, growing up, we always, like in Washington, D.C., it wasn't a lot of Latinos and Hispanics, but we always thought they was cool. You know, we never had a problem with them. At least from my experience, we always thought they were cool. In today's environment, based on the economic situation in the country and some of the social order, particularly out in the West Coast where there's more conflict, and maybe even in the South where the Hispanics are growing more and more powerful. And even here to some degree, I'm starting to notice a difference of a more overt kind of showing of disrespect. And I don't personally like it. And, you know, at least from my own perspective, it's not warranted from my perspective. And I don't know what happened to cause that, but at any rate, you know, as the tension will grow, I'm an African, I'm always side with my own people, but I would prefer to not see a situation where we have to have hostilities with Hispanics because it's just not favorable for either party, and particularly for our party, I have to deal with them and the Euros and the Asians as well. But I mean, whatever comes our way, we have to deal with. I don't see them as permanent enemy class. And that's my personal position at this point. Asians, depends on what group of Asians we're talking about. Like I said, you got Indonesians in West Papua trying to exterminate our people. They're enemies, that group of Asians there. I wouldn't just put a blanket brush of all Asians, but certainly the Arabs and the Euros have a documented 6,000 years history of being enemies. So I'm going to leave them in the same category as enemies all the way through, every single one of them, not trying to pierce through and find good ones. As it relates to the question about black people under the Trump administration, I would say, and this is a very difficult discussion to have because we don't have the political sophistication and maturity at this point as a race of people to understand what I'm about to say, but I know you would be able to appreciate it, so I'm going to give my opinion on that, understanding that our people might not necessarily understand where I'm coming from. Right now, the problem is that there's two groups of Europeans that are fighting each other. The deep state, which is comprised of primarily small hats, white so-called Jews, globalists, the rich elite, the Rockefellers, Rothschild, Oppenheimers, these various different groups, Soroses, Brzezinskis, these wealthy, powerful, small hats that dominate the world and have a genocidal agenda for the whole planet, not just black people, but the whole planet. They're trying to kill everybody. That's what they're on, you know. It's a global population control that is specifically towards black people, but geared to even bigger, broader community, even to a large percentage of the white Anglo-Saxon community. I'm not saying that's my interest. I'm just saying that's who they want to kill too. And they're fighting against what I perceive, at least right now in my judgment, was a coup by the Anglo-Saxon middle class America, even the rich. Donald Trump represents, to some degree, the Anglo-Saxon white American. The Anglo-Saxon, I love America, I'm white first, without regard to any consideration to the Jewishness or anything of that nature. And to this idea of a global state, one world empire. No, they want to be America first, America's own independent state, running its own affairs, being the dominant nation in the world, as opposed to some global empire run by the deep state, where they're just food for the deep state. So right now, there's a war going on between the deep state, that's CIA, that's the small hats, that's these major globalists, and the average everyday Klan racist whites. In as much as that is occurring, my opinion is this is the best opportunity black people are going to get to do something for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Because Trump is in, again, I'm not saying I'm pro-Trump. What I am saying is this. There's no question that Hillary is with the globalists, with the small hats, and is with the genocidal maniacs that want to totally make it legal for sexual assault of children internationally. There's not a question about that. Right. She's connected with all those groups, and completely racist and anti-black and genocidal. So right now, while they have their hands full with the Trump team, and the Trump team is trying to hang on for dear life. He's surrounded by people in his own cabinet that are not loyal to him and are loyal to the deep state. He has the deep state coming after him, and he has the deep state trying to draw the black masses into a whole spring and summer of protests and massive unrest against them through the tools of what they call, we call it the black lesbian movement. They call it Black Lives Matter. Mm. Now, let me bring this up because you in St. Louis, right?
Right, STL.
You in, we call it the Seals, D Seals. That was our good friend, our brother Darren Seals.
Yeah, Darren.
So King Seals. So all right. Now this is one thing I want y'all to understand, because y'all will really be able to appreciate this. If D Seals broke this down very well, you can go to my YouTube, Irritated Genie Speaks, and you can see the interview we did with him before he passed. This is what the deep state did in order to pull our people into this homophile acceptance of pedophilia, homosexuality, sexual insanity, destruction of black family. They've done a lot of things, but the big thing they did is they said, we're going to take the real black energy that's created by the revolutionary black youth, and we're going to jump in front of it and put a bunch of homophiles in front of it. Give them money and give them access to media. And the energy and the numbers that is the masses of the young brothers and sisters in the street that are angry about the brutality, who are legitimate in their warfare, in their anger, in their resistance, in their resentment to the murder of their people like Mike Brown. But we're going to put our homophile lesbians in front of them, with them being used as the cannon fodder, but the people that will be speaking will be the homophiles. Mm. And we'll take the movement and the energy that's going against white supremacy and police brutality of black people. We'll buy off all the young leaders because all of them are poor. We'll give them a few dollars and buy them all off. The ones we can't buy off, we'll knock them off, or we'll just silence them so that they can't be heard. And then we'll take that momentum and roll it over into a promotion of transgenderism, homophilia, and this integrated, a lawlessness, a sense of lawlessness. So what happened is, in Ferguson, the young brothers and sisters out there in Ferguson were sincere. They were on the ground. They said, we're not going to let them kill this young brother, and allow this to happen and go unresolved. And so every day they were out in the streets saying, we're going to do something about this. They took millions of dollars. George Soros put $33 million into these large, massive protests, one of the major ones being what they call Black Lives Matter, which is a homophile movement started by 3 lesbians, financed by the small hats, to overthrow the black energy and the black resistance movement and replace it with a homophile movement pushing homosexuality, transgenderism, and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So right now what's happening is they're preparing, because they know we don't like to get out there in the street in the cold. Once the weather breaks, they're preparing to take the energy of black people, and get black people to be the cannon fodder and the battering ram to try to put and knock Trump down. Even though at this point, go ahead.
So basically you're saying that we are the actual bullets in the gun that's going to take Trump down. They tricking us to be dumb enough to fall for that.
Right. And the thing is, what we don't realize is, that's why it's a great time for us. If we would go ahead and concentrate on our own issues, like, again, pedophilia, the homophile, this is something that they can't really get in front of us because it's in our own community. They don't have no power except they give them the money and give them the control over everything that controls the resources in our community. But one-on-one in the street, they don't have any power from stopping us from pushing this stuff out of our community. We got the power to do that. And it's a better place to spend our energy. If we spend our energy there and they can't push us into the street against Trump, what happens is we got leverage with the Trump. They say, look, do you want 1 million black people out in the street? No, you don't? Well, look, this is what we need. Exactly. We want our own schools. We want to get out of this school system that's trying to kill us. We want money for our own schools, African Senate. We don't want none of your rules and regulations. We want laws passed in our jurisdiction. We have our own schools. You stay out of them. We're going to do our own schools. And then we take that money and we make it good. We're not having no gay schools. We having rules. Whatever we need to do to structure the way we want. He don't care right now. He got way bigger issues than black people, except if we're being used as cannon fodder, it becomes a big issue to him. So right now is a perfect time for us to see what we want to do, because they fighting like crazy and he losing. I mean, he won the election, but in terms of who he's surrounded with, he got his own guy, Comey. His own FBI director is trying to investigate him, but trying to let every other criminal that's against him off. So he's surrounded by enemies. I'm not saying we should come to save him, but at the same time, if you understand warfare, this is not the time for black people to be running out there talking against Trump. It doesn't make sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. And so if you say anything positive and really when you study this stuff, you'll see that a lot of the policies that Trump has said are actually beneficial to black people. A lot of the different things, not everything he's done, not with the police thing and all that stuff. I'm not thinking that any of that's any good when he's like, oh yeah, the law and order candidate and law and order, all that stuff. Nah, knock that away. But as far as the schooling and things like you were just talking about, from what I saw, it looks like it's in the best interest of black people when we're all like, F Trump, he's the worst and all this. And I'm like, what did he do to you? You better look and see what these other people been doing. They've been tearing our butt up. Trump coming there and he the enemy now. He the biggest enemy and he just got there.
And I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, if we understand, and see, this is what I'm saying. This is tactical warfare we're talking here. I want you to really think about this. Even with the law and order, see, this is what I'm saying. We got to understand how to fight this battle. If we take a moral position that we're against homosexuality and the promotion of homosexuality to our people, and we're going to shut down pedophilia in the black community, here's what happens. We can take Trump's words that he's for law and order, and we can say we're glad he's for law and order. We want the pedophiles to get the death penalty. We're going to create law and order in the black community. We're going to hit the streets. We're going to rid the community of pedophiles. We want law and order. What that does, the deep state is pushing pedophilia. And the only leverage that Trump has on the deep state is that all of them are open pedophiles. And if he opens that up into the investigation of all of these high-ranking pedophiles, he actually has an opportunity. Because the one thing that will happen, this is the one thing that Trump has as an advantage, probably the only thing. Every sensible person that's left on the planet, no matter what race they are, just instinctively hates pedophiles, unless they are one.
Exactly.
So, all of his enemies have one thing in common. They all a bunch of homophiles. So, he has the ability and the information, if his old FBI head wasn't against him, to just put that out in the public. He wouldn't even have to do nothing else. Once the people found out, even the liberal masses that are screaming this, once they found out these folks are pedophiles and it comes public, they got to deal with the reaction from the people, which is why we as black people should be taking the forefront in this thing, saying we're going to clean up our community. Because what it does, it's a tremendous point of leverage to stop our children from being sexually abused, first of all, which is epidemic, to save them from that madness, to stop the promotion of homosexuality from increasing, but also to put us in a position where it's like, you know what? You want law and order? We want law and order too, but we're not targeting no brothers for being out in the street and walking down the street smoking a blunt. That's not who we putting in jail. That's not who we locking the law down on. We're locking the law on these white pedophiles riding around trying to pick up our sons and daughters. We putting a hammer on them. Law and order. You want law and order? We want law and order too.
And you know what? He would probably be all for that because he's actually spoken about some of these things, and it could be something that he plans to do in the future as far as, Ace of Spades he's going to pull out later. You never know, because that's what Trump says all the time. He's not going to tell you what he's going to do. He's kind of slick, kind of sneaky, but that could be a good thing or a bad thing. We are now live, joined by the Irritated Genie on the Chris Monroe Show. We got about 15 minutes left. If you want to call in, 516-418-5565. If you got a question or a comment, you want to drop something in, 516-418-5565. Yeah, most definitely what you're saying is true. And for the people who don't know, where can people connect with you? Find your website, your social media, contact you outside of, out here in cyberspace.
All right. We have a website. It's waronthehorizon.com. Again, that's waronthehorizon.com. You can email us at liberation@waronthehorizon.com. On Facebook, Irritated Genie of Southeast. That's my page. We constantly putting out information relevant to the Black world community there. We're putting out videos now from the tour that we did to Zimbabwe. We have other information there. Also on YouTube, we have 2 pages. Actually, we have 3 pages. Irritated Genie. Then we have the Irritated Genie Speaks. Then we have the Straight Black Pride page. You put in Straight Black Pride Movement on YouTube. Also, you can put in our Straight Black Pride Movement page on Facebook. We also have a radio network where we have programs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, and we're going to be having them coming up very soon. We're going to be having them on Sunday nights with Brother Darren Muhammad, we call him the new Steve Coakley. One of the baddest brothers in terms of information in this country. So people can check us out there as well. It's Blog Talk Radio /SBPM. That's for Straight Black Pride Movement. That's blogtalkradio.com /SBPM.
All right, that's the way to connect. I want to make sure we got that in before this line cut off or something happened. They've been knocking us off. So we want to make sure we got a way to stay connected. So somebody made a comment and said, what is the war on the horizon? Is there really a war on the horizon?
Yes, it is. The war is actually here. We're in the 21st century war for racial survival. And that means that very similar to if we were able to come to these shores in 1492, and we were able to tell the indigenous red people, there's a war on the horizon. You're about to be exterminated. They would have laughed. They said there's 500 nations of our people. It would be impossible for somebody to exterminate all of us. Where are they? When is the last time we've seen a full-blooded red man? Well, what we're facing as African people, we're an international community. We're in Brazil, over 100 million African people in South America, over 50 million in North America. Over 100 million in India, 1 billion on the African continent. However, we're in a military strategic position to actually take the world and create overnight empire. We have all the resources, tools, and access to resources. The one thing we're missing is an African consciousness, a connectedness that binds us together of common purpose. That's all we're missing. We have everything else that we need. But if we don't quickly get it together, we are going to become the food on the plate. When I started War on the Horizon in 2009, I saw that genocide was on its way. And I knew that the homophile assault was a major part. I didn't realize how central a part it is. Now I understand the full construct. What we are looking at is a world similar to slavery, except the kidnapping and enslaving of black people will not be for the purpose of us doing work for them. They have machines now. Now what they'll be wanting is body organs. So black people will be grown for organs. So we're looking at will be used as sexual toilets for Europeans or Asians or Arabs. And after they finish with the sex, the ones they want, they take the hearts, they take the livers, and whatever pieces they want of the bodies. This is where we're headed internationally. It's already happening. I'm not talking about something that may be occurring. Again, go to our website, waronthehorizon.com. enter the website, and there's a video to this very explicit organ trafficking in Jamaica. You'll see what's happening. And it's happening. Did an interview last week with a brother, the Morgan State radio program, and I told him about what's happening in Jamaica. A brother called from Trinidad and said, we've had a bunch of young sisters missing in Trinidad. We didn't know what was going on. And he's basically saying, now that you're saying that this is what's going on in Jamaica, maybe this is the same thing that's happening. It's already occurring. All we have to do is take a definitive position against the homofoul assault and bring our men together to fight that. Once we do that, the kidnapping of black women and black children and black people will become instantly a priority issue, and we'll start dropping those bodies on that, making it clear nobody's going to kidnap nobody from our communities. Then we will be, in order to get into a situation where we can actually defend ourselves in that, we got to organize. Once we're organized like that, then anything else that comes, we can do. Whether it's police, whether it's international unification with the African continent to secure the resources and protect the resources of the African continent, anything else we need to do after that, we can do. But the priority is to save the babies.
Most definitely. We got to get the babies right so we can win the fight. So I want to ask you too, Irritated Genie, what is the straight black pride movement?
Yes. In about 2014, we started realizing that there was a need to create a pro platform that defines what blackness is and what our platform is of our survival. In other words, War on the Horizon is the intellectual military assessment of what's happening and what the issues are that we have to fight and how we have to fight them. Everybody's not a physical fighter. Everybody's not an intellectual fighter. Everybody's not a YouTube fighter. Everybody's not a fighter. But, so that means we need the fighters, but we also need a platform that grandma can stand on that seals off the threats to African survival, but at the same time, it's not about what I'm against, it's about what I am for and what I believe in. And since we know, we've already discussed what the threats are, we said, let's create something simple, like what Brother Garvey did, the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association, but let's make it more modern. His movement, all black people were welcome. We're not inviting everybody. We're saying if you're straight means you're a black man or a black woman who believes that a black man should be with a black woman, a consenting black woman. So that means no homosexuals, no pedophiles, no rapists. No, you're not straight if you're doing that. That means a consenting black man and a consenting black woman. Then black, meaning you got a black mother and a black father. We don't need no more Barack Obamas getting in the position of mulattoes to do what mulattoes have done throughout the centuries. If you read The Destruction of Black Civilization, they made it very clear. Mulattoes are the chief agent in assisting whites in the destruction of black civilization, according to the great Chancellor Williams in his book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. We need to learn the lessons from history. So we want black people to have something that they can believe in that says, hey, if I don't have nothing else, I don't have an education, I don't have a good job, but you know what? I'm black. And that means something. And now I can be part of a movement, the Straight Black Pride movement. And the last thing, pride. Brothers, we got to pull our pants up. Let's delete this N-word out of our vocabulary. Either we Africans or we ain't. Either we men or we not. Let's delete the disrespect for our women out of our vocabulary. Am I saying we going to all get along? No. Are some of our sisters crazy? Most of them are. Just like most of us are. We got black males walking around in women's clothing. So we can't be tossing searches to how sick our women are without looking at how sick we are. It's time for us to be straight, black, and proud. This is a platform that your grandmother would say, yes, I like that. We should be straight. We should be proud to be black, and we should have some pride and dignity in how we operate and how we move on this planet. And this is an international platform where anybody who fits that can participate. We have chapters now in New York, Washington, D.C., Uganda, Atlanta. We're about to start another chapter overseas in Tanzania. About to get one in Zimbabwe probably in about a year or two. And we're about to have one in Boston. So we're starting chapters. They're small, but they're working. They're doing good work in the community right here in D.C. We're going around helping people plant gardens, learn how to grow their own food right in the area. We're also in the process of doing that down in Atlanta as well. And it's already happening in Tanzania. So we're saying taking tangible, real things that are basic. And we realize that we have both components. A platform that's positive and uplifting, the Straight Black Pride movement, and the military component, the War on the Horizon, for the brothers and sisters who want it a little stronger and are more fighters. And when you put them together, you have a platform that we all are part of. One Horizon is part of the Straight Black Pride movement platform. But not everybody in Straight Black Pride is made for War on the Horizon.
Right,
but this
right.
way,
I actually heard you break this down on a video before. I think you said it was like 4 different types of people or something like that. You broke it down on what different types of people there are when it comes to this.
Yes, sir. We have the lost people, which people just don't know what we're facing. They just lost. We know what lost is. We have the basic conscious people, the person that knows a little bit and they want to do the right thing. You know, they do the best they can with the new information they got. We have the Lumumbas, who are people who are racially committed to the freedom of African people, and they're going to fight with every fiber in their body. The Marcus Garveys, the Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad's, the Fannie Lou Hamers. And then you have the Mobutus. The Mobutus are the most interesting group. They're the group that have the information. They know what's going on, but they make the decision, for whatever reason, that instead of siding with our people, they're actually going to side with our enemies against us. So they're fully informed of what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they're intentionally trying to do harm to our people for whatever benefit they can get or perceived benefit from our enemies.
Damn. The enemy, or you got an enemy within. That's messed up right there. So
Yes,
we are
sir.
joined here live with the Irritated Genie on the Chris Monroe Show. We got a few more minutes here. I did want to also ask you, when it comes to a plan for going forward, it's better for people to join an organization, you think, or more so these people that's out here trying to figure it out on their own? What kind of advice would you give somebody that's now coming into consciousness, now coming in 2017?
One, I would give them, we have a video called I'm Conscious Now What? That's the one where we actually define the different types of consciousness. The reason I would advise people to get that, you can get that at warnerhorizon.com. Go into the store. You can either get the electronic copy, we send you an email, you get it right away, or the hard copy. The reason I say that is because there's so much information out there, there's almost too much information. And what happens is when you come into consciousness, you can be drawn into some weird stuff. We have created a DVD that says, hey, here's the information that will best be suited for you to go after and understand what's going on. And once you find yourself and figure out who you are and what you want to do with your consciousness, then at that point, I think it's good for people to join an organization. But I really think it's important for people to have an intellectual understanding of, okay, what's going to happen when I get all this information? How many different ways is information coming from me? Who can I trust the most of the solid information? And then, you know, how will I know then who I am and what I'm supposed to do? And I think that video helps me do that.
That's exactly what we need, the right information from the right teachers. Because, you know, there's a lot of misinformation out here. We had a guy on the show Monday night talking about America was made for us. It's for black people. And I was like, what? And he broke it all down, and he was serious with it. And I said, man, I don't know what he been studying, but it's rough out here.
You know, I say that what I found is that we have a modern version. When we were young, I'm 43 years old. When I was young, we hated being black and African. And so what we would say is, I got Indian in my blood. Now, we have more sophisticated arguments to hate being African and disconnect from our African identity. Now it's, I'm the original Native American. Like, Native Americans was never here. And they stole the land from us. It was really us. We were brought over here on slave ships. We were actually already here. So we were already here. This is our real land. It's like, look, man, the real scholars, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, Master Teacher Astrid Kwesi, Dr. George G.M. James, Dr. Chancellor Williams, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson. These are real scholars. Dr. Walimu Barudi in the modern context, Irritated Genie. We give you real, solid, foundational, proven, documented fact. A lot of these other folks out here, I'm just be honest, there ain't no other. We have the Straight Black Pride movement, and outside of our circle of people that we work with, a lot of these folks out here, I wouldn't send my worst enemy to get some information.
Wow, that's bad. So it's misinformation. And you brought up about the slavery and everything, and you know, it's coming here on slave ships. I wanted to ask you too, are you more with the position of us building a new community or a new nation within the nation of America, or going back to Africa, or finding some land somewhere, separating from this bad boogeyman here?
I'm going to say it like this. In 2017, the European has wings. Ain't nowhere you can go on this planet you ain't going to have to fight this white boy. So for me, like I hear people a lot of times say, we need to repatriate. What I say is, and I always tell the warriors, be very careful. If you're a warrior and you about this war, and you love African people, sure, you need to repatriate. Because we got to get our brothers and sisters on the ground in Africa prepared to fight for their survival, just like we got to fight here. But Africa don't need no more cowards. They overloaded with cowards as is. We don't need to take no scared people from America that don't want to fight here to go to Africa with bad habits to not fight there. The only people that need to be repatriating and going somewhere else is black people who are willing to have something to bring to the table and are willing to stand up for African survival in the 21st century. I want the Negroes, the integrationists, the degenerates, the dope heads, the homophiles. Let them stay where they are and destroy the community where they at. No reason that Africa needs that. No, I think that the yous and the me's and the other brothers and sisters, provided that those of us that are really serious, we need to be going back and forth, not just to the African continent, but to Brazil. 50 million black people, we can't leave them by themselves in Brazil. We can connect with them. In England, there are millions of black people. In Europe, we need to connect, because the reality is this next assault on African people is not solely on the African continent or solely on black people in black America. This is an international effort to exterminate us, which is going to require an international effort to prevent it. There's nowhere to run to, because there's no group at this point in time that's prepared to fight. All of us are going to have to cast our buckets where we are, organize where we are, and then move according to how the war moves. So if the war moves in such a way that it's impossible for those of us that are fighting to survive in this continent, we have to already have the bridge to be able to move. At the same time, the best case scenario will be for 50 million people in Brazil and 50 million black people, 100 million black people in Brazil, 50 million in America, and 1 billion in Africa, and millions in Europe to be tied together and saying, look, if you move on us anywhere, we right here up under your nose, we're going to crack that head. That's how we're supposed to be doing this.
Straight
we're
like
supposed
that.
to be leveraging power straight like that.
I got you. That's what it is. And so how important is it for the foundation of economics? Now, I hear people say, oh, we don't need them white people money. We don't need that. And then I hear some people say, oh, get your wealth up. What do you think is the right path on that? Get the money up, or just you don't need their money?
Okay, we're trying to create a new world within the context of a situation we have no control over. The more realistic way to look at it is, wherever we are, whatever the economic system is there, we need to take control of the land and the businesses wherever we are. So if we're in a place that's more African communal type of place, then we need to control the economics and the trade that goes on there. If we're in a black community in America that's capitalistic, we need to be very capitalistic. We need to capitalize on black people's money and make sure that we spend our money with each other. And we need to count the number of Asian stores, and we need to have a roadmap. Okay, it's 100 in this 100-block radius. It's 300 Asian stores. In 1 year's time, we want that 300 number to be down to 250. In 2 years, we want that number to be down to 100. And in the third year, we don't want any Asian stores left. We want everything owned by black people. We want to start competing for business control and economic control of business infrastructure wherever we are with any other group, not competing with each other, working with each other to compete with other groups, undermine them economically, and put ourselves on top of everybody's economy. That's how we need to be thinking. This is war.
You're right. The battlefield is everywhere. So we definitely got to step up to the plate and make some stuff happen. And for people who haven't noticed already, we're on live with the Irritated Genie. If you haven't, share this out to your Twitter, share it out to your Facebook, invite your followers on Periscope. We want to make sure the information gets spread out as far as possible. And Irritated Genie, did you have any closing statements or anything you want everybody to know before we get out of here?
I want to say first, I really appreciate black media, brother. Let me tell you something. You and a few other venues are the only places that will allow me to come on. It's very interesting. And again, I'm a very humble person, but my people have told me I got to stop the humility because it's holding back from the truth getting through. I have to say this, I feel like I need to say it. The reality of it is there's very few people out here that's saying anything that needs to be heard. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just telling you my honest opinion. I am at the top of the food chain in terms of information that black people need to hear and the perspective that black people need to hear. Now, the health is critical, so there are a lot of people talking health. I think that's a great conversation. We can't do anything if we don't have our health. And I let the people that master that talk about that. But as it relates to African survival, I'm right here. and our people don't want to hear it because many of them are involved in homophilia themselves. They running around here with these transsexuals, and they've been bought and paid for. So the fact that we have black media like yours that doesn't have to agree with everything I say. People can call up and challenge. You saw the gentleman called up and challenged me earlier. That's not a problem. I should be challenged. If I got the right answers, I should want somebody to challenge me so that I can prove that what I'm saying is accurate. But I would say it's critical that we begin to support black mediums like yours, because without you, me can't exist.
Exactly.
Because no one will let me be heard but real black people that are concerned enough about our people that they're not afraid to let a real, genuine black person tell the truth about our condition so that we can do something about what we're facing.
Most
so thank
definitely.
you.
Oh, I appreciate you coming on, and you are welcome here anytime when everything's coming up or you got some information you want to drop. You know, that's what this is for. This is not just about me or anything. I want to have a platform where we can have the information distributed properly when it's coming from the top, from the people actually studying the craft. That's why I say I'm the student master teacher. I'm still a student, still learning, but I want the master teachers to come on and, you know, drop their knowledge just like that. All right. Anything else you want to say, Irritated Genie, before I let you go?
No, I want to say I love y'all, brothers and sisters, and I will definitely see you on the battlefield. Be in tune April 15th. My brother here said he's going to show it on his thing live. I promise you, the most important message of the 21st century. He'll tell you they just shut down his whole system because they don't want our people to hear this message, but we're going to get this message.
Most definitely, most definitely. We got to get it on out there and let them know we ain't playing around. We coming for the #1 spot. That's right, that's right. Irritated Genie, thanks again, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, peace out. All right, that's how we doing it, y'all, right here live on the Chris Monroe Show, where we talk about the news, politics, current events, and so much more. What's up, family? What you call it, demonic? Look at these people. We got the trolls up in here. You got to have a few trolls. There's always a troll or something coming in trying to hate. But you know what? If you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing enough. You got to get you some haters. How important it is. That's right. Businesses, financial war, I'm down. That's right. We got to get that money up. Chris, he was really irritated. Why you say that? He dropped too much information on you? Chris, Trump was right again. Maybe. Blacks should own businesses more, but not all. Troll shaking my head. Yep. Always a troll. But we are streaming live on Facebook Live, streaming live on and Periscope here as well. What do you say here? Is there trolls for trolls? There are. Was your guest nothing but hate? No, he was preaching the truth. The very truth. And check out his website, waronthehorizon.com. Make sure you check it out on April 15th for that special at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to stream it live right here as well. If they put me back on YouTube, I'm going to have it on YouTube Live, Periscope, Facebook Live, and Twitch.tv. You say a room full of white racists can't stand the black guys saying we don't need them. You know that's right. So make sure you share this out if you haven't already. Share it out to your Twitter. Share it out to your Facebook. Invite your followers here on Periscope and like my page over here on Facebook, Chris Monroe fan page. Like that up there. Yep, you're right, Miss Queen. We need each other. All right, all right. Pizzagate. That's right. That's what it's about. We're going to check that out on April 15th on tax day. Get your taxes up. We shouldn't be paying taxes no way, but that's a whole nother conversation. Make sure you follow me here if you're new on Periscope. We'll be back here live on Monday night. That's when the regular show comes on. Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, where we talk about the news, politics, current events, and so much more. Plus, we got these powerful interviews. I'll have this posted up on chrismonroestl.com. We'll have it all the way up as one video, hopefully, because they cut us off, as you can tell. This is the second part. If you just joined in for the second part, there's a first part of this interview with the Irritated Genie. Go back and check the replay out on that. All right. Any more questions, comments, or anything before I get up out of here and do some more woke stuff? Because we went over a little bit here. For the people listening over here on the blog talk, you can watch the video as well to see what it's all about. Let's see here. I see that they shut down the show for the man. Yeah, they did it. They shut the whole thing off. The whole computer shut off. All right. Let's see here. So that's how we're going to do it, y'all. We'll be back, like I say, on Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central for the next Chris Monroe Show. And we got some more powerful interviews coming up. So make sure you do that. And if you want to promote your show or promote your business or your product, hit me up. We get you in on the advertising on here. We want to get you found, get you seen, get you some notoriety. Thanks for all those flood of hearts over here on Facebook Live. I appreciate that. So go ahead and do what you do. Be who you be. And you know what else? I'ma see you before you see me. Peace out, family.
And we have and we have and we have Mr. I stay whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay on point in the game. Don't count me out. I stay lit with the news, got a loud mouth. I represent SDL, man, that's the loop. And Monday night, 7 o'clock, getting that brain food. And stopping fists, nah, homie, this ain't Willie Lynch. And you can stop it with the Jim Crow push. I'm in position, I stay ready every day. Respect my name, call me Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay. Whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Written by Nice Reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Monroe, and I know you're ready for summertime, because I've been ready. But this is what you can do, baby girl. Rock this dashiki shirt or a dashiki skirt. Show those legs. Let them know that you ain't playing, baby. Black girl magic. Rock it just like this or put some stretch pants on. Do it the way you do it. You know how we do it. Go ahead and get yours at chrismonroestl.com. Sizes small through extra large are available, and get free shipping at chrismonroestl.com. Live Soap School is more than just soap. It's a way of life. After completing this process, you'll learn how to make cold process, hot process, melt and pour your own soap, start your own home-based business, make an additional income. Learn more at livesoapschool.com. Sign up today. Enroll for this great course and learn from an expert. livesoapschool.com is the place to go. Make money and have fun. It's too easy. Now, once you get to the site, make sure you select Enroll in Live Soap School. That's livesoapschool.com. Are you seeking an affordable way to promote your business, product, service, nonprofit organization, or even an event? Visit chrismonroestl.com. there are several options available for advertising opportunities. Find out advertising rates at chrismonroestl.com. Promote within the website itself. Promote on our YouTube videos. Promote everywhere within our network. Be heard, be found, increase sales. chrismonroestl.com is the place to find out more. Several options are available that will go with any budget. chrismonroestl.com. I'm not sure if anybody told you, but you need to become a member of the I Stay Woke Clique. Join at chrismonroestl.com. Get a free membership or premium membership, goodies and more. chrismonroestl.com. This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, and we got some brand new products in that you're gonna like. Check out this red, black, and green beaded necklace all the way around. RBG colors in style. Put it around your neck and show them your Pan-African spirit. What about this tonk in black background with the fire? Ooh, makes you feel good. Or the classic antique tonk style. Get all that and more, plus get free shipping at chrismonroestl.com. That's chrismonroestl.com. That's chrismonroestl.com. Reminding you about the Chris Monroe Show each and every Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern. This is chrismonroestl.com. News, politics, entrepreneurship, and a whole lot more. But guess what? We're trying to expand this show. That's right. We want to make it at least 5 days a week, maybe even more, and you can help. You can help by going to GoFundMe.com/I Stay Woke. Help us out with our GoFundMe campaign. Just launched it, and we need your support. Go ahead and give $5, $10, $20, even more. Give what you can, and if not, go ahead and share it out to your Twitter and Facebook. It's much greatly appreciated. All you got to do is go to GoFundMe.com/I Stay Woke. Do what you do. Be who you be. And you know what else? I'ma see you before you see me.
Hey, do you know where I can find those RBG banners?
Yeah, man, just go down to iShopWoke.com. That's the new website with RBG gear, jewelry, accessories, and a whole lot more.
Well, what do you got there? Like pillows and stuff like I see all the time?
Yeah, the pillows. You can get them in multiple colors. You can make all types of stuff. Customized orders and wholesale orders are welcome. Just go to iShopWoke.com to order. iShopWoke.com is the new website. Check it out today. Get free shipping. Don't forget iShopWoke.com.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We're back live with the Chris Monroe Show. You got an opinion? You want to voice your opinion? Oh,